minutes late. I got here a little bit late because my wife unfortunately is in the hospital and she's doing fine, but the doctor came in late, supposed to be there at 9:45, and didn't get there until 10:20. So, sorry about that. Anyways, welcome. I'm Jim Kersten with Iowa Central, and we're happy to co-sponsor this with the Freeman-Journal and the Webster Chamber. And we're going to have our legislators introduce themselves, maybe make a few opening comments, and then we'll open questions to the floor. We ask that you, if you have a question, fill out a card, and they'll bring them up to me, and then I'll read them. That way we keep the dialogue civil and controlled. So with that, who would like to start?
All right. And I am a little bit behind on all the things that have been happening in the past week because I was in Israel the first half of the week and came back on Wednesday. So I was there for the gender identity bill that was run on Thursday. That was an interesting day. I saw probably at least 20 highway patrolmen there and a lot of DCI, plainclothesmen and that sort of thing. We're thankful for all the security that was there, and I think that was an important thing that we did. 28 states currently do not have gender identity in their as a protected class in their civil rights code, and I think it's a good thing Iowa did what we did. There's a lot of other things that are going on, but I'm going to let Shannon handle that because she was here during the week and I wasn't, so she knows what was going on.
So is that the end of your?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you're tossing it to me or not, so just, in all honesty, Senator, I don't think anything else really went on this week. All the attention was on that civil rights bill. Definitely, a lot of people from both sides of the issue in the Capitol that week. I want to reiterate what you say. I have the utmost respect for everything that our troopers, that our security did. I never at once felt like that Capitol that it was an unsafe place, so I greatly appreciate all that they have done for that. And so this week, I'm trying to think I had a couple of subcommittees on bills. So we are at the point in the legislative session where we are approaching the first funnel week. And what that means is that bills that originate in the House must pass through subcommittee and committee by March 7th and to stay alive, and the same process in the Senate. And so at the same time, while there was a lot of focus on the big bill that we had before us, there also was this need to move other bills ahead. And I saw this week that the governor posted that the math bill was one of those that moved forward. It's not one that I know a lot about, but I can tell you I never understood new math with my kids. So I am in favor of trying to return back to the basics and hope that parents in the future will be able to help their kids with their math homework. And that also that we just have some good basic math skills anymore. I just like even going to the concession stand, people can't count back or change. So I think it's good to go back to the basics on that. I also saw that the governor's rural health care bill advanced this week. That is one that I am extremely excited to see going forward. The area that I represent is obviously very rural, so during the interim I had an opportunity to tour Van Diest. I had an opportunity to tour Franklin-Journal, had an opportunity to visit with them about some of the challenges we face, especially in rural Iowa, to get specialists to come into our state. And so there's been a lot of focus on by the House Health and Human Services Committee to provide bills, advanced bills that will help attract more doctors, more specialists to the state, also to help encourage students that have studied here and done residencies here to stay here. So those were a couple of them that I was excited to see move forward. I don't know a lot about them, but I'm excited to dig in. And I'm also looking forward to the week ahead. So before I got into the Iowa House, I wasn't quite certain of how the whole budget making process happened. And I had never really paid attention to the revenue estimating committee, but I do know that when they meet, it indicates like what our revenues are going to look like, and then that kicks off our budget making process. So they'll be meeting. I just looked the date up, and I just in March.
Yeah, it's like 14th or so.
Yeah. So it's usually mid-month. They'll be meeting. Once we get that figure, then really that budget making process will begin in earnest. And you know, as you guys probably all know, in Iowa, we have to have a balanced budget before we can adjourn for the year. So, I think that is one great thing about our state, is the fact that we have to have a balanced budget. So that whole budget-making process will begin in earnest really mid-month.
Great, thank you. One of the things that I was reminded of, as you were talking about the Health and Human Services, is Senate File 255, I believe it is, changes the amount of personal allowance that a person in a nursing home on Medicare gets from $50 to $65 a month. It's been at $50 for like 30 years, and it's time for that to go up a little bit. That's what a resident can spend on their personal hygiene products and cosmetics and their little gifts or whatever, things like that. And it just helps those residents feel like human beings, so I am glad to see that move forward.
Great.